All right, peace, peace, peace. What up? First and foremost, hopefully the Most High in your house shall blessing your day. By His mercies we are consumed, alive in the Most High in your house shall body and two are naturally alive. Man, I want to get into this, man, because actually, let me grab the good news, man, because we're going as far as the gospel per se, man. Like, also too how, because it's too. That's why honestly, when the word is in you. Like, and many, righteous people in the past, many righteous men in the past, man, the word was naturally in them, man. So what they say and do, their actions just reflected the word. Because, even all throughout the letters, man, Paul and, all the apostles and disciples are, giving word. But, Paul's just giving out word. He's just giving out the law and giving out the gospel, witness, testimony, things of that nature. But also, too, it's just to show how skilled he was, honestly, with that. And the Most High in your house shall word, man. But also too, man, this kind of goes into with the preaching. That's how we know the gospel is preaching of the gospel is about Yahweh Shai, man. About the witness testimony, of him coming from body of the book, his death and resurrection, so we all could overcome sin and death. Honestly, and the main things, the love of the Father, and the love that the Most High in your house, the love that they have, for us, and to overcome sin and death, the righteousness, which is the faith, all that stuff. But that's just really the thing about it, and we're gonna grab that real quick, man. But we're gonna kind of get into this a little bit, but so because I used to believe that the preaching of the God, and the preaching always is is for the increase of the faith. But of course, I came as well as a lot of you brothers and sisters came in the conventional way. Like, listen, we the people of the book, we're the Israelites. In his instruction, the law, statutes, commandments, and many people think that's the gospel, and that's and that's not on to be honest with y'all. But I used to think that way, but more growing most on your house shall increasing my knowledge, wisdom, understanding by their mercies. From me watching other brothers brothers I say Kwame, you call Shalamah, brother Semi Firstborn, brother Akawar, brother Elijah, even other brothers as well, brothers personally, and not that. Also too, ultimately the Most High in your house shall this themselves increasing the small knowledge, that bits of knowledge I am getting day by day by their mercies. But also too, man, it's just honestly too, here's the thing about it too, and this is what kind of Yahushua said that about the shaking the dust off your feet if they don't hear you, man. Because I'm gonna even say it too, because a lot of people don't even know what the gospel even is, honestly too. I mean, I think it's more of a term that people it's me, is of course good news, but really the gospel is, or the testimony, witness of Yahushua throughout the scriptures, like what we just said, new covenant, things of that nature. But let's grab this Proverbs 16:22 real quick, because we're going to grab this too. It says, understanding is a wellspring of life unto him that hath it, but the instruction of fools is folly. So see, let's grab this in Proverbs 16 verse 22. It says, wisdom is a fountain of life. Yep. Just like the Yahushua at the well, John 4, but to the wise, but trying to educate stupid people is a waste of time. So see, we can find this in the letters as well, man. Also too, we can find this in the gospel with Yahushua. Many times, but no, let's grab it real quick. Let's grab that with Yahushua, because Matthew chapter 10, Matthew chapter 10 verse 14. Because let's read this Proverbs 16:22 again. No, let's read this in the Good News translation. Proverbs 16:22. It says, wisdom is a fountain of life, but trying to educate stupid people is a waste of time. So see, that's in the Good News. Well, let's grab this again. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 20. Matthew chapter 10 verse 14. It says, and whatsoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of the house, shake off the dust of your feet. So see, like Aaliyah said, one of my favorite Aaliyah songs, just try again, dust yourself off and try again, go to the next one. And that's what kind of Proverbs is saying right here. It says trying to educate, because that's how you know Yahushua's the word. That's the word right there, what Yahushua's saying. Listen, trying to educate people that are fools or unbelief, because they when when Christ called the Pharisees fools, that one of the meanings for fools is just like, not just somebody that's incompetent or like this um super stupid per se, but also too foolish, meaning unfaithful. Like, it's a waste of time. Just keep it going, keep it moving, man. Honestly, like, that's what kind of I'm still learning. I'm still learning that in the word, but I learned over the years in the word, like, because especially when you first come in, like, that zeal, like, especially that, it's like, wow, and thing you present to everybody, but then like I realized, not everybody's, of course, not going to have the same reaction that you have, because really it's up to the Most High house shot to renew their hearts and minds, and like give them eyes to see and ears to hear, man. That's up to them. They do the calling and choosing, but anyway, man, that's just is what it is, man. But let's grab this too, because it says, Matthew chapter 10 verse 14. It says, and whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words when you depart out of that house or city, shake the dust off your feet. So see, yeah, Let's go 1 Corinthians real quick. Kind of another example of that, but also too with this, man, because that's how Paul was skilled. Paul was giving you word, man. How Sean Paul is giving you word, man. So, yeah, it says 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 18, and that's how we know. Of course, we're gonna get into preaching of the gospel. Is like is of Yahushua for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish is it's foolishness, but unto us which are saved, it is the power of Yahweh. So see, and that tells you from the beginning, man. Like having power with like Jacob, and it, like when he became Israel, having power with the Most High and Yahweh and with man. So see, that's why they see, and that's isn't that like the same with how the sons and daughters going to be, like then in that Revelation, the new name, because once he changed Jacob's name to Israel, like he had power with the Most High Yahushua and with men, but also too just like in his seed, which is which is our people, the nation, like of course naturally we're not empowered now, like honestly on the natural tip, as far as that's gonna happen when Yahushua comes back, like but naturally as far as like the kingdom things and nature, Israel being on top. But anyway, but that's how. Oh gosh, I lost my train of thought. But see, that's how it is, and that's like when you renew from the gospel, you renew your heart and mind, become a new creature. Like that's what it is, man. That's how you get power. Our power comes from the Most High Yahushua, man. And we see this on Yahushua's death. They used to call him for Eli, my power, like my powers. Hence the movie Book of Eli. That's crazy because we even talking about that because I was watching The Equalizer yesterday with Denzel Washington, man. But you know what? Yeah, man, like and I pray that even if that's up to Most High House as well, man, because Denzel has been talking about like the Most High recently, so hopefully like the Most High House does like for that brother, even to a lot of our people, like for a lot of our brothers and sisters that seeing that like Most High House is the way, man, honestly, like and like Isaiah 49:5 says like lead, like going back to him, honestly, like in the Son. But anyway. Let's grab 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 18. It says, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish is foolishness, but unto us which are saved it is the power of Yahweh, man. Exactly, man. So that's saved for lost sin and death, and like also too but also too, man, perish. Like how do you not like those that perish is those that do not believe, those that not believe. We see this in John 3. Believe in the Most High Yahushua, man. Believe in he's the word. So yeah, yep. So look at John chapter 3:16, man. So yeah, for Yahweh loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoso believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. So see, exactly, man. And that's how we know that a preaching of the gospel is like is of Yahushua, the witness, the testimony, like the new covenant, man, how we had to believe on Yahushua from Genesis to Malachi, and like all throughout the whole book, honestly, man, because his like because yeah, he's the word. So when you can believe somebody as that's pretty much you're believing on, relying on somebody that's consistent, so you could put your trust in them, honestly. And that's the preaching of the Gospels for, man. But let's grab the First Corinthians 2 and verse 14. It says, "But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of Yahweh, for they are foolishness, unto him. But neither can he know them, but they are." But because they are spiritually discerned. So see, exactly. So that's why Peter even says, listen, like, this was written about holy men, not just natural. I mean, yes, these were natural men, but these were still holy men at the end of the day, man. Like, honestly, man. So, like, men that sons of God, the men that Yahushua, the Most High Yahushua stamped and approved of, man. So of course, but we know that James 5 says, listen, these were human beings, like, natural human men, like men just like us. But these were holy men, honestly, man. So. Yeah, man. So, but notice how it says, listen, pretty much it's saying the same thing. Like, understanding is a wellspring of life unto him that that hath it, but the instruction of fools is false. So yeah, man. So pretty much what the house shot is saying, man. Like, what, like, don't like, what point is it to go to, like, now the gospel, the word is supposed to be given preached to unbelievers, but there is a difference, like, unbelievers and, like, that don't want to change, that don't care about the word, like, the scoffers, scorners, like, yeah, like what value is that, like, that's why, like, it is what it is with that. It's no even use to even talking to them or condemning them, because one, their own actions, their lifestyles they're condemning themselves already. And that's why they even says, listen, you gotta worry about yourself. Well, one, worry about others and worry about yourself. Like, saving yourself from untoward generation, or like your own freedom salvation, man. Because what, honestly, man, because like honestly, even outside the word, man, like, so like the brother sent me first one said, man, like, honestly, man, because I still do this, and I gotta work on that, man, like, especially only gotta work on, like, a lot and getting yourself together. But man, if somebody's constantly, like, doing something, they constantly keep coming to you about things, it's like, only really tell them 2 or 3 times. That's really it, man, because you can't, because at that point it's something that they want to do, because people want to do what they want to do, man. So yeah, that's what really the Most High House is really saying, like, they gonna do what they want to do. So, because one, I actually, like, even sent it out this morning, like, because if people not, like, like he said to Ezekiel, they're not gonna, if people aren't gonna listen to Most High House, they damn sure, like, ain't gonna listen to me. So it is what it is, honestly. Even sometimes when, like, even I might, like, me personally, I might give advice that's like godly advice, or just try to, like, stuff that comes from word, because you can give people counsel with the word without just quoting book, chapter, verse. You don't have to do that. It's just a godly word, honestly. But in my mind, it's like, okay, cool, because sometimes people need that, man. Because certain times I heard people say to others and myself, like, no, when you reading them certain things in the scriptures, I said, no, I want to hear your opinion, like, my, like, I was like, listen, I always think of that Sirach 3, like, listen, many have been deceived by vain opinion. But yeah, I mean, I know what they mean, but like a natural example, like a natural advice from, like, just some advice, but rather, like, my point being is that, like, if you want to listen, listen to Most High and House, man, don't listen to me at the end of the day, man. So, yeah, man, so that's just is what it is right there, because yeah, man, but that's how like, the preaching. Let's get 2 Corinthians real quick, man, because the gospel being preached is, man, that's really of the gospel. The gospel is like, is about the witness and testimony of the Most High House, because like it says 2 Corinthians, man, we preach not of ourselves. For 2 Corinthians 4 and 5, for we preach not of ourselves, but Christ or Mashiach, Yahushua, the Lord, and ourselves your servant for Yahushua's sake. So see, we preach not ourselves, man. So the gospel is really about Yahushua, man. The whole book. Let's get it real quick, because we always quote it, but let's grab it real quick, man. Psalm chapter 40, verse 7. Then I said, lo, I come in the volume book, is written of me. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, verse 8. I delight to do thy will. Yep, thy will be done. Exactly. Oh my God. Thy law is within my heart. So see? Yeah, man. So that's just is what it is right there, man. So yeah, man. Kind of going to that, how that's the gospel, and importance of that, and yeah, man. So anyway, man. Ooh, this verse 9 is nice too. Yeah, but all right, we ain't gonna have to read. We don't have to read that, but yeah, exactly. So, anyway, so peace.